Right, well, I'll kick off and I'll introduce myself. For them people who don't know me, I'm Colin, I'm Philippa's dad. Yes. And I want to welcome you all here today and just say you're here because you mean something to Philippa and Craig, and I think that's important to see right from the beginning. I would also like to extend a welcome from my wife Sandra and from Craig's mum and dad Jim and Hazel. I see I stand here today a very, very proud man, I must say that, and a proud dad. You're a beautiful little girl. But, so I've run through this about 50 times. We'll get through it yet without crying. I've got some thank yous here. First, I'd like to thank Sarah and the staff of the Manor House. Obviously, the room looks beautiful, and I know that there's a lot of hard work goes on. So if you'd pass our thanks back on to everybody, I'd appreciate that. Hazel for a few things really. One, for the financial support and the support like other things have given to Philippa and Craig. I'd like to thank them for supplying one of the bridesmaids, one of the 10 beautiful bridesmaids I must admit. Obviously for supplying the groom, wouldn't be right. But last and not least for me is just for welcoming Philippa into the family. Yeah. You know, she's always been, you know, and the last thank you really is David. And if I've missed anybody out here, I apologise in advance. But David's the lad, the guy who played the organ in the church, and he's part of the string quartet which played in between, and then the doctor. As I say, I know Philippa's got loads of like sort of mums at work, and I was chatting to some of the girls out there, and what was lovely for me was, you know, like the regard that the world are in. It's absolutely fantastic. So thank you for that. So I'm going to put that one down now. Yeah. Right. I want to start the speech now. Just talk a bit about old Philippa. Born a free spirit, I'm pleased to see her, and still a free spirit. And I hope that never changes, because it's what made her what she is today. Full of mischief, as a child, surrounded by love from the family, everybody, wanted for nothing really. I see her just absolutely loved and doted on. But she had this fantastic knack of singing the most inappropriate songs at the most inappropriate times. And we would be standing in somewhere like Marks and Spencer's, and she would start singing, Jack and Jill went up the hill for a bit hanky-panky. Jill came down off a crown, it must have been a Yankee. Our other little party chick was Jack. The boy stood on the burning deck, picking his nose like mad. He rolled on with little balls and flicked them at his dad. And you'd be standing there thinking, oh God, not now, Philippa. But she knew, you know, she'd have that little, like, you know, that little look like, I'm getting you now, you know. So that's just sort of like, you know, I see that little bit of mischief, that's there. And I see I wouldn't change it for the world. I think she's lived probably 4 lifetimes in one, and she's, you know, she's only 28. You know, like, you know, just done things that we would never have done, and I'm proud of her for that. But for me as a dad, one of my favourite times was always on a night when we could sit and read, and she'd go to bed and I'd read little stories and things like that, and it was always a great time to bond. And what we've done, Philip, is me and your mum bought you this book. It's not one that we read, but it just tells you how much we love you, really. So, and the other thing is, for those people who don't know, this is not how Philippa's first marriage. She's been building up this for a lot of years. Our first marriage was to a lad called Stephen Metcalf at East Lincoln Primary. Laura was a bridesmaid apparently.
I was only 6, by the way. I just like was legally right.
Only 6. So if anybody's still in contact with Stephen Metcalf, tell him I checked yesterday and it's not legal. I must admit this morning when the vicar said there's got any reason why this man is kind of like that, I was a little bit worried, I must admit. So if you see Stephen, tell him, you know, it's fine. It's great. Gets into teenage years and I would just see her tears and tantrums, really. I just think this beautiful young girl, I would the baby became like 666, somebody stand like that. And like every day was like a Kevin and Perry day, you know. But there's two things really that sort of stick out for us in all them years. One was this bloody awful white Adidas tracksuit with a pocket on it. And we wouldn't buy it, but our Philippa had learned from about the age of 3 that you could get around grandparents and aunties and uncles, and I include Bell and Ron in this. I want a white tracksuit, you're not getting one. So she would be able to went shopping with Mum and Dad or Bell and Ron. Oh, I've always wanted one of these. Yeah, this time it was. And then she'd come with this bloody awful white Adidas. So we were stuck with that, Russia, but she'd learned that one. And the other one was, there was always letters. Whenever she wanted anything, there was a letter. And I've got a couple here, and now I'm going to... Remember, Philip, I love you. Payback time. There's one here, it's an apology letter to our mum. I'm not going to read that one out. Sorry on the front. But this one, Mr. C. Wardle, please read VIP. And in red she's got please read again. So that means I've got to read the red bit twice. She's made me and her mum sign this agreement. There's the evidence. And I'm keeping this letter because I'll tell you what, me and her mum's definitely getting the bum deal out of all this, like. And it says, dear Mr. and Mrs. Ward, basically this is a letter on Philippa, a proposal to get the top of her ear pierced. She says she's willing to make certain sacrifices in which she will list below. And this is the bit that I still cannot get my head round. Do the washing up as soon as she's asked. Tidy her room. We thought Osama bin Laden was in her bedroom. Hoover, dust, tidy, clean windows, wash paint work, do the bathroom, cook tea, and any other chores she's asked to do. And we've signed this.
Would have done though, didn't it?
And on the bottom here, it's got, dear Dad, please let me get my hair done. I've tried my very best at school, and I've done well. And I've either moved up to top class or stayed where I am. I know how important you think a good education is, so could you repay me for trying hard by letting me get my hair done? And on the back she's got, P.S. This will be the last thing I go on about. And this is because all my friends are getting it done. Now, see how the washing up, tidying up, that never got done. But you did cookie at school, didn't you?
Yeah, badly.
Very badly. Obviously didn't stick because not that long ago, and I'm not talking about teenage years, I'm talking about after that. 2 years ago we came in, she was preparing a salad for work and she was using a cabbage for lettuce. So Craig, if ever she says she's done your salad, mate, you better check what the contents of the box. So that's the two tantrums. I see 666 got stamped, and we just never ever knew what Philippa were going to come into. I see a free spirit. She went off to college to enrol in drama and English. Obviously very proud, thought great. Came back, all right, aye. What you enrolled in? Health and beauty. All right. I said, well, how did you get there from English and drama? Didn't like the English teacher. I couldn't work with her for 2 years, so I was all right, okay. But, like most clouds, this one had a silver lining, because after about a year she decided she didn't want to do that. She wanted to go into nursing. So the flip side of it and the upside of it was that, you know, I say from that, health and beauty, but we made her do the 2 years. We said, no, you're going to get the diploma or whatever it was, and we made her do that, much to her dislike. And then she went away and enrolled and did our nurse training. And I think that is a perfect match for Philippa. I was saying to some people earlier, it's just like it's like a hand in a glove. I think because of the person she is, she's got a beauty that comes from within. She's obviously very, very beautiful. And you know, and I keep saying I'm biased here, of course I am, but I don't think I'm, you know, sort of building it up. But I see our personality comes through, and I think patients will benefit from that. And I think one of our biggest sort of attributes is our sense of humour. I didn't think there was much sense of humour when she tells having 10 bridesmaids. I went pretty weak at the knees, and so did the vicar on Thursday night when we were all matched in. So I say that's how Philippa's sense of humour. And I remember we were chatting about getting married and whatever. She went, no worries, Dad, I'm not going to have a big wedding. I said, all right, okay. And she said, I'll give you plenty of time. But she's 10 months, and this is a small wedding, this is a small wedding, and 200 people eat tonight. So that's our Philippa's idea of a small sort of get-together. So I see that sense of humour comes so again. And then she met Craig, who, through Ashley. I think Philippa and Ashley were friends. That's Craig's sister. And I remember her coming in very early on and saying, she was going at night shift, if my memory serves us right. She was meeting Craig for a meal in Durham City Centre. Anyway, she came in the next day, and she had the flowers, the chocolates, and a card. But more importantly, she had a smile. And not for us, and I just want to thank Craig because she smiled every day since. So the relationship's moving on, and the 22nd of July last year, Craig came to our house, and the same me and Sandra, and asked if him and Philip, if he could ask for permission, which I thought was really, really great, for him to ask Philip to get engaged, and obviously we were over the moon. Only disappointment was he asked us in the garden. I always thought he'd get us into the pub, not he's going to but not to worry on that one. So, but he wanted to keep it quiet because we're all going to family holiday. There was 16 was going away 2 weeks later, and he wanted to keep it quiet. So he gave me and Sandra the ring to look after and all that. So Craig gets on holiday, and Craig says, I want to give it in I want to not just give her the ring, try and put in something where it's like a surprise. He says, she likes Kinder surprises. So he says, all right, okay. So me and Sandra's walking around in Spain, about 45 degrees, absolutely melting. We bought this Kinder surprise and some other bits and pieces, brought them back. I said, oh, Craig, have a look at this. So he wasn't interested. He saw the Kinder egg. He says, all right. Opened the Kinder egg, and it wasn't like the Kinder eggs you get anywhere. It's plastic, it was all chocolate. So he stuck on his mouth. He says, I don't think I'll bother. We were like two bloody lobsters walking around. But that's what we love about him. He's absolutely great. And I say he's like a breath of fresh air. So as I say, but the holiday, they get away, he proposes to Philippa down on one knee. Somebody takes some photographs. 2 days later, we're around the pool. He's got the phone in his pocket. He jumps into the pool with the phone in his pocket. So the least two people who were worried were these two people here. And that's why they're like two peas in a pod. They're just so, they're just made for each other. No phases them, and that's what's lovely, But Jackie said, get some rice, put it in, that might sort of absorb the water, which it did. But they just said, don't worry, it's on iCloud. But anyway, it all worked out well. But what that holiday really as well showed us is, when you're seeing somebody 24/7, you can see the relationship they've got. I see it's full of happiness. It's full of everything you'd want in a young couple. And I see I'm absolutely delighted that they've tied the knot today because I think they really, really are made for each other. And I think the relationship on, what we can see, and you notice and think, it's built on equality and not egos. And I think that's really, really important. They see it's not about, flash this, flash that. They are who they are. They love each other, and that's what all that matters. Really. So I say that's lovely for us as parents to see that. Sorry. So for me, I'm nearly finished, but I just want to thank our Philippa for something that will just stay with me for the rest of my life. Is when she came downstairs this morning with a dress on and everything matching. I was just absolutely speechless. I just didn't know what to say, but my heart just felt as if it was going to burst out. Just absolutely beautiful. So I want to thank her for that. And in lots of ways, when we were walking up the aisle, it just reminded us of my own wedding 35 years ago. And I turned around and I saw Sandra walking up the aisle with her dad, Bob, and I just thought, so my dad's had that, with my sister, and anybody who's had that, and Jim had that, the pleasure of that last year with Ashley. Anybody who has the pleasure of that, honestly, it is the proudest moment of your life, and didn't underplay it. Be loud and be proud about it because it is absolutely fantastic. So I want to thank our Philippa for that, I say, because it means a lot to me. And I was cutting the grass on Thursday afternoon, and I thought, you know what, I should really give some guidance, you know, because I'm this 35 years married, you know. I thought people wanted, you know, what guidance would you give them? So I've just wrote a couple of things down here, really. And I've said, marriage, I think it's still a beautiful institution, and I think people knock it, but I think you've entered into a fantastic club, you know, as I say, just cherish it every day. Just remain best friends, because I think that's important, because sometimes, you know, people get married and then all of a sudden they become different people. They think it takes on a different meaning, but, you know, just be true to each other, and that's fine. The good and bad times, the good times, that's great, but it's the bad times what will strengthen the marriage, because, and there will be bad times, there'll be times when it's hard and whatever, but you've just got to dig in there, and that's perfectly natural, there's nothing wrong with that. Forgive and forget, you know, I mean, Sandra every day, you know. Has to forgive for something, and well, I just forget everything, and that's why I have to forgive for something. Remember just to say I love you, you know, the 3 small words, but they've got such a big meaning, you know, in everything. And finally, I think, you know, marriage in a sense, it's not the big things we say, but I think it's the little things that we do that's important. It's about the things that people don't say. You know, we can all make big, brash statements and all that, but that's not the thing. It's the little things that you do for each other. And I think that's, you know, the foundation for any good, strong marriage. You know, it's the things that people don't say, but what you probably appreciate more. And I'm just going to finish this with the reason why we're here. And this is off Facebook. And it was off Sandra's Facebook, because I haven't got Facebook. I just read Sandra's and tell her.
Miss anything.
And this was when Craig had been to Ibiza, and he came back from Ibiza, and our Philippa said, I never thought I would say this, but I couldn't be happier to be perched on the edge of my own bed with not a bit of space. Because it means we are all back together, me, Craig and Ty. And I think that about sums it up. So if you would, ladies and gentlemen, just please raise your glasses and raise a toast to Philippa. So lastly, Craig thought he was getting out the reading bit. There's the bookmark for you, sunshine. That's me, thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Craig.
Talk about setting the bar high for a speech.
35 years of experience.
First of all, I'd like to thank David, because that in the church, the violins is beautiful. Thank you. On behalf of my beautiful wife and I would like to take this moment to thank you all for coming out and celebrating this very special moment with us. I can honestly say I wouldn't have been the same without you. Thank you for your generous well wishes, cards and gifts, but mainly just for being here today. I would like to thank Philippa's friends and family for travelling all this way, especially your aunties, uncles and cousins who have travelled all the way from Canada to spend the most special day of mine and Philippa's life. We would like to thank the people of Spennymoor for missing their beloved gala day. I'm pretty sure you'd all prefer to be riding hard on the horse than being spun around by gypsies. Moving on to Philippa's family, thank you for inviting me into their family as if I was their own son, cousin, grandson and nephew. Even though we've had our differences on their ill-advised football team. Even through their countless efforts of trying to convert me into a Mackem and failing, you still treat me as your own. You have been great. A big thank you to my family for coming out today, my aunties, uncles and wonderful Nana. And not to forget Gary, Gail, Bones, Les and Blan, who have been like a second family over the years. I would like to thank you all for looking after me when I was young to make the strapping young man you see before you today. I'm pretty sure Philippa will be pleased to have such a lovely new relations. A big thank you to my best man, Odge. We've been friends for a long time. He really pulled out the stops in the Ibiza when he rocked down the pool like Johnny Bravo with his low-cut vest and salmon pink shorts. We all had a massive laugh over them. Geordie Shaw, eat your heart out. He has even changed his name on Facebook to Johnny, so it's not Odge anymore, lads, it's Johnny B. It's a good job that he is strong, because when I was at school I broke my leg. As I was trying to steer some kittens out of a tree. He used to carry me everywhere, mostly the slab, aka the cider spot. It was about a 1.5 mile walk, and I will never forget that. Depending on how much I drink tonight, you may need to do it again. We did not trust him with the rings until we were in the church, but you still did a great job of not losing them. When I asked Hodge to be my best man at Leeds Festival, we were absolutely legless. I'm surprised we actually remembered agreeing to it. I suppose we're used to these type of things. There was a little story how I knocked him and another lad off their bike one time as we were riding down a very steep hill in the pouring rain. When I turned around to see them rolling across the floor like a set of bowling balls, and getting up and shaking their fists and shouting at me, I secretly thought it was hilarious. It was lucky for them that they fell off because they wanted to kill me, and I was stroke them both. I was also a hint to watch how Dave's best man bought him a watch as a wedding present. To my despair, Dave told me it was the other way around. So following tradition and repairing the watch I broke when he fell off the bike, and to say thank you for being such a great friend, I bought you a little gift. Where's the gift?
Well, I've got you a gift.
I've got you a gift. It's in the room. I'll give it to you later. And to all the lads who come on both of my stag do's, it really meant a lot to me. And thank you for making the effort. Hoochie mama. Not to forget Way for buying me a Sunderland top. As if that wasn't bad.